Hey there, welcome to Teams That Swear. I'm Adrian Balarjian, author of Teams That Swear by Each Other and Not About Each Other. I believe the strength of any organization comes down to one thing, and that's how well its people work together, and especially how well an organization's leadership team work together. Now, if you're looking for genuine strategies that actually work, you've come to the right place. This podcast is about cutting through the noise, getting to the heart of what makes teams tick, and giving tools you can use today. Hey there. Believe it or not, I'm still getting asked, Adrian, what's your take on hybrid work? Should we be in the office more, less, or does it even matter? Now, I'll admit, for a while I held back my response. Maybe you feel the same way, like you should have a clear answer. But the truth is, there's no single right way to do this. But here's what I do know. The more we talk about it, the more we listen to each other and actually make a decision that provides certainty for teams, the better off we will all be. So it's time to get real. I'm going to share what I'm seeing, what I'm thinking, and where we might go next. Now, I'd love to hear your take too. Now, choosing which way to do this, or which way is right, is like using Google Maps. You punch in your destination. There's multiple options you can choose from. And what you decide on depends on a number of things, right? There's different routes. Some are faster, some are slower, some are more scenic than others, some are more direct. The key is to knowing where you want to go, then just picking a route that makes sense for your current context. The same approach applies to hybrid work. No one had the right way of working before COVID. In 2016, Australian census data showed only 5% of workers worked from home. Now, is that the best way? Maybe, maybe not. It's just what we were used to. Then the pandemic hit, boom, and suddenly we're all working from home. Is that the best way to do it? Maybe, maybe not. But we got used to it. By 2022, PwC reported that 96% of Australian knowledge workers were either working fully remote or hybrid. And today, we're actually seeing more organizations asking people to return to work. Even in 2023, a report from the Australian HR Institute found that the percentage of companies requiring full-time employees to be in the office 3 to 5 days a week jumped from 37% to 48% in just 1 year. So what's the right way right now? I'm not convinced that's the best question to ask. Maybe the better question is, what's the impact of not being together more? There's a lot we lose when we're not physically in the same spot together. If we don't start working together in person more often, here are some things I think we really need to consider and think about. First thing, are we really more effective working remotely? Sure, I agree. Working from home can be great for focused work and getting the laundry done and maybe even working on a side hustle. But being an effective team isn't just about individual to-do lists. It's about how we work together, support each other, and benefit from both formal and informal time together. Another thing to think about is, how do younger employees develop soft skills? If you are early in your career, how do you learn these unspoken skills of leadership when you're not around experienced leaders? How do emerging leaders learn from mentors when their only interaction is a scheduled Teams call? Here's another one. How do new hires integrate into a team? We all know that starting a new job is hard enough. But joining a team where you barely see your colleagues, that's even harder. Many leaders I've worked with say new hires are struggling to connect with their teams because they simply can't or don't spend enough time together. Another question, how do people feel a sense of belonging? Sure, a welcome kit is nice, some company swag, boom, you get that hit of dopamine, awesome. But what happens when you're stuck? You don't know who to ask for help. Your boss is in back-to-back Zoom calls. That's when loneliness kicks in. and loneliness sucks for everyone. Here's another question. Should leaderships decide when people should be in the office or leave it up to the individuals? Here's what we know about human behavior. We crave certainty. Neuroscience also shows that we feel more relaxed when we know what to expect. Now, the more I talk to leaders and employees, the more I hear, I actually don't care what the decision is. I just want some clarity. So when it comes to working together, face-to-face still matters. At its core, work is about relationships. In large organizations, your stakeholder network is massive. But if you rarely see people outside your immediate team, how are you supposed to build those connections that make work flow? This isn't just about business. We need to realize that this is about being human. The longest study on human happiness found that relationships matter most, not just in our personal lives, but at work too. Further research from MIT showed that from a team performance standpoint, the best teams have high energy, face-to-face conversations. And the worst teams, they rely mainly on the written communication. Now, the piece of work did show that video conferencing can work, but its effectiveness drops significantly once you have more than 7 people on a call. Now, the challenge with making these decisions, work from home, work from the office, or the mix, is that these decisions that not everybody wants the same. Not everyone is programmed the same way. Think about it. Some introverts love working remotely. It helps them manage their energy better. On the flip side, extroverts feel isolated. They thrive on in-person interaction. Well, parents juggle work, school drop-offs, and life. Empty nesters see the office as their main social connection. So, is there one right way? Probably not. But we have shifted too far away from being in the office together. Last year, I know of one well-known ASX-listed company that prohibited their leaders from even discussing coming back to the office. They couldn't even ask one of the team members, hey, can you come in for today? Now, on the flip side, the New South Wales government, they've mandated 5 days a week. Neither extreme seems right. The pandemic forced us to evolve how we work. Now it's time to evolve again towards something that builds connection, fosters a sense of belonging, balances human interaction with flexibility. That doesn't have to mean rigid policies. It means making thoughtful decisions. Now, might mean setting core in-office days when everyone is together. It might mean flexible start and finish times. We don't know. But it's time for leaders and teams to adapt again, to work in a way that supports both people and performance. Conversations need to happen. Compromises will be necessary, but decisions must be made confidently. Because at the end of the day, when we struggle as humans, the answer is rarely to isolate ourselves, is to connect, support, and show up for each other. And the best way to do that is when we're in person and connect face to face. So, what do you think? What's working for your team? What's not? I would love to hear your thoughts. In the meantime, take care. Say hi to your colleague when you see them next time face to face. Cheers. All right, that brings us to the end of this episode. Thanks for joining me on Teams That Swear. If today's conversation sparked a thought, a question, or maybe even a new perspective, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And if you're ready to transform how your team works together, reach out. I'd love to help. Because teams that swear by each other and not about each other don't happen by chance. They happen with intentional, deliberate action, and the first step starts with you.